Here we go now.
What's going on, everyone? Happy Thursday. All right, so before we get into anything, I just want to say, again, prayers to everyone in Los Angeles and to the families that are affected by the fires happening in Los Angeles. I have to say this because I've seen this a lot on social media. I get it, on social media, you can say whatever you want to say behind no picture or whatever it may be. And I know you think everyone in LA are celebrities or have money. They are not. Even if they are, there are a lot of celebrities that are being reported on that have lost homes. Here's the thing. It's not just about homes. We have to forget, literally, people were celebrating holidays. People were celebrating, birthdays, anniversaries. People have spent time. We were just talking about during the pandemic how it was important to make whatever space you were in, rented or bought, to make it your home. Some people that you probably don't even know have been talking to journalists, talking about the little things, how they came from nothing and built this home and now it's gone. So let's just be sensitive. I get it. You want to have your opinions, not us, but I'm just saying there are a lot of people on social media want to have their opinions on people and their homes and the fact that they're talking about losing their homes. Let them have that. You don't know what they've done for that. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Bozoma St. John talked about losing her home, but she literally talked about the process of this home, what she did to get this home. So leave your opinions to yourself. Say a prayer for everyone that's affected. There are people that have lost everything, memories, pictures that they will never get back, memories that they won't ever get back. So let's be mindful of that. Let's continue to pray for everyone in California. They are still in the middle of this. The last thing that they need is people that are not dealing with this, making very disgusting remarks about, oh, you're rich, you'll be able to rebuild. It's not about rebuilding. There are things that can never be replaced. I think they are more than grateful that they and their families are safe, but they're also thinking about, okay, where am I going to go to once this is all over? So we continue to send our prayers and thoughts to everyone affected, even the people that are not necessarily didn't lose their homes, but they're living in a state of chaos around them. Right? There are plenty of people that are still in Los Angeles, and literally all they see in the sky are helicopters, smoke. It's raining ashes. That is traumatic in itself. So our prayers and thoughts go out to everyone in California and those that love people that live in California, but they feel like they can't do anything for them. You can pray. You can send good thoughts. You could also not put out on the internet negativity. All of that helps. All that helps. Definitely. All right. Guys, I do want to start off this live stream. It's going to be a Hot Topics live stream. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to unpack. I will drop the call-in link for a brief commentary from all of you that want to call in. So continue to like the video, continue to share the video. Shout out to our subscribers, our King's Guards for holding us down in the live chat. We appreciate them. Mama Ali is going to keep the timestamps for those that want to jump to specific stories. That's fine. We will be posting that after the live stream, okay? All right. where do I want to first? Okay, I want to start with some good news. We have a couple of good news things that I wanted to talk about that I haven't talked about. Speaking of people in California, I know Brandy lives in Calabasas in California. I hope she and her family are safe as well. She did announce a couple of days ago, or was it yesterday? I can't even keep up. Brandy did announce that she will be releasing her first memoir. Okay? She posted this in a caption saying, "Writing my memoir was one of the most challenging yet rewarding experiences of my life. I allowed myself the space to be fearless and vulnerable, to reveal some of the most intimate moments. For the first time, I am sharing my story honest, unfiltered, and not through the lens of media or critics. From singing in church as a little girl in Macomb, Mississippi, touring across the world, starring as Moesha, and becoming the first Black Cinderella, I've experienced unforgettable highs, but what you didn't see were the struggles behind the scenes, the trials that tested my spirit and shaped the woman I am today. This memoir is more than a book. It's a reflection of resilience, hope, and rediscovering myself beyond the fame, the music, and the spotlight. This memoir is a lifetime in the making, and I hope my words bring inspiration as you navigate your own journey. Coming October 7th, 2025, pre-order links are available in Brandy's bio." Look, as someone that has interviewed Brandy, what, 5 times? I'm interested because I know there's a lot that Brandy has not said. I know that Brandy comes from a time where she just, she was very media trained. There's a lot of things that Brandy has always wanted to say that she hasn't said. I hope she uses this memoir to air it all out. Air it all out. I mean, there have been things from the car accident to losing her idol Whitney Houston to the note Whitney gave her. I don't think she's going to tell us what was in that note, y'all. Because I know some of you, is she going to tell us what? No, that was something that was between her and Whitney. So I really don't believe she's going to talk about that. But there's a lot of stuff that has happened behind the scenes. There are things about her relationship with her mom I'm sure she's going to talk about in this memoir. Brandy, although she is quite young, has lived a life. She's been famous since the age of 14, 15, 16. So there's a lot that she can talk about. And I'm looking forward to hearing it from her words, okay, and from her mouth. All right. So congratulations to Brandy on her new book, memoir, coming out October 7th. That is the fall of later this year. They have not revealed the book title or the cover just yet, but it is available for pre-order. Check out Brandy's Instagram or her Twitter as well for a pre-order link. Okay. Mama Ali says, "I love Brandy. I'll be reading it." Me too. I'm definitely going to be reading. Maybe that should be one of our book club selections for this year, because a lot of you keep saying we should do a Kempire book club. And I'm like, I really do want to do it, but I'm like, am I really going to spend the time and effort to really reading each book? Maybe we'll start with like a really easy book. All right. So stay tuned for that. Okay. I'll keep you posted. Okay. And some other good news, Megan Thee Stallion, as you know, she's been seeking a restraining order against Tory Lanez. Oh, you didn't know? Well, let me update you. Our friends over at the Shade Room report that Megan Thee Stallion, hold on, let me just bring up Megan's photo. Okay. They say this, a judge in California has granted Megan Thee Stallion, also known as Megan Pete, a 5-year restraining order against Tory Lanez following the Pow Pow situation that occurred back in 2020. All right. According to legal affairs journalist Megan Cuniff, Megan's been busy, who was present in the courtroom in a video, Pete testified about the trauma she endured from 2020 Pow 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 and how it's been impacting her today while discussing her fears if Lanez is released. She stated, quote, "I feel like maybe he will pow 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 me again, and maybe this time I won't make it." Californian Judge Richard Bloom responded to the claims before signing the order, stating the court does believe that the facts in this matter show both unlawful violence, a threat of violence, and a willful course of conduct that seriously harasses the petitioner and serves no legitimate purpose. He added, "I'm signing the order at this time." Cuniff also noted that Tory Lanez is ineligible for parole until September of 2029. As he is serving a 10-year prison sentence for the shooting, the restraining order will remain in effect for the next 5 years. All right. And I still see people have such a negative reaction to Megan Thee Stallion still. Not sure where all that stems from. Conspiracy theories, who knows? However, Megan has a lot to celebrate in the last year and today. All right, so congratulations to Megan Thee Stallion. Let me say thank you. Candace, thank you so much for the super chat. Candace says, Karen skipping the reunion and announcing that she's going to rehab was calculated. Now Bravo can't fire her because she sought treatment. Thanks, Candace. Drea, thank you so much for the super chat. Drea says, Kempire, hold on. Kempire, I keep missing your notifications, but I am here. I appreciate that. I can't control the notifications. I'm sorry, but make sure you're following us on other platforms. Make sure you're part of our Discord. That way, you'll get a notification some way or the other. Or turn off your notifications on YouTube and try turning them back on. Thank you so much, Drea, for the super chat. We appreciate your support. Guys, you can also support the channel just by liking the video. Okay? All right, where do I want to go first in regards to some of the hot topics? We are going to get to Karen in just a second. But as you know, earlier today, we were live to recap the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It was a time. The podcast version will be available shortly. So make sure you subscribe to the Kempire podcast. All right, and make sure you give us a 5-star rating there. But the reunion looks dropped earlier today. What did you guys think? We're going to rate them. We're going to rate them together. You're going to let me know in the live chat. And if you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let me know how you would rate them. If you're watching us on TikTok, you won't be able to see it, but you can go over to YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. There's a multitude of places where you guys can watch what we are showing you guys on the scene. First of all, the fact that Angie K is sitting next to Andy Cohen, she posted a video on Instagram saying, look how far she's come from being a bench warming B word. You remember when Monica Who called her that, and now she's sitting next to Andy Cohen and Lisa Barlow. I mean, look, I know people want to downplay what it means to sit next to Andy Cohen, but in the world of Bravo, it is a big deal. It is a power position. Kenya Moore talked about that in the interview she did with Carlos. So it is a power position. So I do find that to be interesting. The left side of this cast definitely were superior in regards to what they were wearing, but let's look at them individually. Okay, we're gonna look at them individually. Wait, let me see if I can. Ah, oh, damn it! I wish I had pulled this up earlier. Because I like to read the who did what behind the scenes. So let me see if I can do that. We're on reunion. Let me see if I can pull up the article. Let's see. Is this it? Because I want to see if they tell us. Yes, they do. So I want to celebrate the people from behind the scenes. So let me pull up each picture, and you guys let me know how you would rate the reunion looks for Salt Lake City from 1 to 10. Salt Lake City, though, I don't even care that they didn't all hit it when it comes to the fashion. They had a stellar season. So to be honest with you, they came in like garbage bags and they would have been fine. Let's talk about Lisa Barlow, because Lisa Barlow was like the first look that they revealed before revealing the reunion look. So Lisa since season 1 has given basic. And I don't even mean that in a bad way. She doesn't do too much. And I don't think it's a bad thing for her. I like the color on her, but it's nothing wow about it. For the people that love to say that she is the queen of Salt Lake City, I'm like, no, she's not bad. She's an important part, but she is not the queen. She's a basic. Hairstylist Olivia Halpin. There we go. Makeup artist Megan Leno. Nails by Jada. Stylist was Danny Horwitz. I guess they didn't get into the things that she's wearing, though. Okay. How would you guys rate her look? It's very basic. It's not bad. It's not great. I'm sure she's wearing a major designer, but it's all right. It's nothing special to me. I mean, I always like her. I hope she never changes and goes to blonde. I like her as a brunette. I think Lisa Barlow, this is what I like about her. I think she looks basic, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just like, there's nothing special about this look. but it's not a bad look either. I'm gonna give her a 5. And I know people are gonna think that's bad, but no, it's just she didn't do much. She didn't take a risk, but that's not Lisa Barlow. I'm somewhere in between a 5 and a 7 for her. Because I feel like this is her, this is on par for her, but it's okay. It's nothing special, it's nothing wow. I mean, she's never done that though. She's never done that at a reunion. Okay. I'm going to skip on over to Brittany because Brittany was there. Brittany, I like you with darker hair. You don't look bad with blonde hair. And I know if you see old things of Brittany, she's kind of, gone from brunette to blonde before. But Brittany, look, I like the dress. I will say that. The dress I do like. It's a nice little sparkle. And I know Brittany is a mess and she was recording them this episode. But Brittany, she brought a lot this season. She's kooky. She works for this cast. I could see her coming back. Her dress is by Halpern. Her shoes are Gianni Bini. Jewelry is by Robert Hallard, private jeweler. Hairstylist was Julius Michael. Makeup artist was Samantha Gennarelli. I can't, sorry. Stylist was Christian Shavir. Okay. Brittany noted her look was supposed to be Oscar de la Renta. She ultimately opted for her dazzling strapless high-low look from Halpern. I like it though. The only thing I don't necessarily love about this look, it just seems a little weird at the right where you see the little cutoff. It feels like it should go in a little bit more. So it feels a little weird towards the bottom half of her. But I like the sparkle, but that is throwing off for me, like the cut into the dress, the split. I think hair and makeup look fine. I don't love her as a blonde. You know what I mean? I do like her as a brunette. But she doesn't look bad. It's just like, it's just okay for me. I'm going to give her a 7 because I think it's a nice effort. She is just a friend of. But we know she was giving Snowflake the entire season. Let's be honest. She was definitely giving Snowflake the entire season. This was an okay look for me. I'm going to give it a 7. But again, like the split is kind of throwing me off. I don't love it. I don't love the shoes necessarily. I like the sparkle though. I like the design. It works. She doesn't look bad. Danny says it's not fitted correctly. That's probably what's throwing me off. It feels like it's not highlighting. Like she has a great shape. It's not really highlighting it well, in my opinion. How would you guys rate Brittany's look? Although she's a friend of, I feel like she definitely mostly should have been a snowflake. Elle says the slit is off. 3. Damn, tough crowd. All right. Speaking of the queen of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, goes to the return of Mary Cosby as a full-time snowflake. So Mary Cosby's dress is by Jean-Louis Sabaji. Shoes are Christian Louboutin. Jewelry is Levain. Hairstylist is Stephen Webster. Makeup artist is Frank Guten. What? Okay, Mary, I'm scared of you. Look, Mary has always never really been a fashionista to me. Like, I know she loves to wear the name brands and do all the things, but she's never really been a fashionista to me. But this look works. We have to remember, this is a church woman. I don't expect Mary Cosby to come out here bearing skin, right? I don't expect that. I don't expect her to do anything crazy risque, even though she does claim to be a fashionista. What I do appreciate about this dress are those gold feathers on her sleeves and the bottom of her dress. Like this shade of red really highlights like her brown skin. I like her hair. She actually looks happy in this photo. Okay? She looks happy. I'm assuming she's having a good reunion. She looks good though. Mary Cosby definitely brought it this season more than a lot of people, more than a lot of the OGs. Jean says, Mother of Dragons. That's what it's definitely giving that. And again, for me, when we talk about the reunion looks for Housewives, for me, the most important thing is to see it in motion. Once we see it in motion, it will give us a better idea on whether or not we like it, because sometimes when we see it in motion, it looks cheap and that makes it not look so great. But Mary's look is kind of giving, I don't know, it looks rich to me. But we shall see. We shall see. I don't mind it. I don't love it. Again, I don't think I've ever loved any of Mary's reunion looks. Remember, she skipped out on a reunion, and everyone says she wasn't going to return. I'm saying that because that's important to note when we get to Karen Huger. So remember, Mary Cosby skipped out on a reunion and did not return. But now here she's now she didn't return that following season. But now here she is full time. Okay, so keep that in mind when we talk about some other things later on. All right. Speaking of basic, Heather Gay. I mean, she's been basic all season. She hasn't really brought much of anything. I've never really liked any of her reunion looks. I have to say all of her reunion looks kind of look like the same dress, except a different color or maybe a different something is added, but they all look like the same dress. Her dress is by Maria Lucia Hohan. Probably also from Amazon. Sorry, Maria. Shoes are Christian Louboutin. Jewelry is Harper Jewelry. Hairstylist is Tatum Wetzel. Makeup artist is Jill Peterson. Speaking with Bravo TV via email, Heather had the perfect phrase to describe her look. Good time girl goes glam. Girl, it's not. The hair looks terrible. The hair, I'm sorry. I know she never really does much with her hair, but it looks terrible here. Makeup looks just okay. I mean, look, when we've seen Heather in these last few episodes and she's wearing these like skimpy outfits, Heather looks great. I'm happy for Heather in her weight loss journey. This dress did nothing for her. It's just okay to me. It's giving cheap. Sorry. It's just giving cheap to me. Jasmine says, yeah, the entire looks like it gives Amazon, which she's done before. I don't like it. Sorry, but not sorry. I forgot to tell you guys what the theme was. Bravo TV says, when you think of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City fashion, you may imagine dazzling blues, ice cold whites, and shimmering purples. However, for season 5 reunion, the snowflake holders opted for a series of sultry reds with crimson sheaths, elegant plum gowns, statement-making pinks, and more show-stopping looks. Okay? Okay. How would you guys rate this look? Did I rate Mary's? I didn't rate Mary's, did I? No. Mary Cosby 10s. Look, I'm only going to give Mary Cosby a 10 because of how much she worked this season to make this season. Someone said prom. Amit said prom. Yeah. Alma says giving 2007 prom. Mary Cosby, how would you guys rate her look? I'm going to give it a 10 just because it's Mary Cosby and she brought so much this season. I'm sorry. She worked overtime to save the season. 10s. Okay. Heather, I'm going to give a 4 because I can't give basic Lisa a 5 and give Heather anything near that. So I'm going to give her a 4. Okay, I'm going to give her a 4. Marie says Heather's giving bridesmaid. Yeah. Not great. All right. I'm going to move on from there. Let's move on to Angie K. Angie K. Angie K stood out because of this color, but Angie K really does. Like, I don't love all of her sunglasses and all those things, and I don't love all of her antics, but she's definitely grown on me. She definitely is probably, and this is probably why Mary likes her, because, Mary's very superficial in that way. It's because she does have taste when it comes to fashion. Like she is one of those fashion girls. She's shopping at those stores. Her dress is Oscar de la Renta. Okay? Everybody's wearing designers that you may not have heard of. Doesn't mean that they're not high end, but she's wearing Oscar de la Renta. The hair is herring. She is a hairdresser, so I would not expect anything less. Her shoes are Jimmy Choo. You can't see them, but her shoes are Jimmy Choo. Jewelry and necklace is by Swarovski. Hairstylist is Julius Michaels. Makeup artist is Priscilla D'Estacio. Stylist is Katie Pear. She did fantastic. Angie noted that she opted for a feminine, soft, doll-like vibe, along with a splash of princess and maybe a little queen. The Utah mom added that she wanted to show versatility as well with her look. I wanted the dress and hair to be timeless and elegant. Honestly, she won. She won. How would you guys look? How would you rate this? Tens. Look, her and Mary I mean, she's nowhere near Mary, honestly. Mary, you're not really a 10. I graded you on curve. But no, Angie deserves a 10. Angie deserves a 10. She looks great. She looks fantastic. She looks fantastic. I love this look on her. And look, she's sitting next to Andy Cohen. I love the hair. I love her makeup. I wish I could see her necklace a little bit better. The color, her color stands out. When you look at her and the rest of the cast, she stands out. Everyone is looking like everyone else, but she stands out. All right. Meredith Marks. Although I enjoyed Meredith this week, Meredith never brings it when it comes to the reunion. Never. I can't tell you a reunion look that I've liked of Meredith Marks. Okay? So Meredith, and be sure to let me know how you would rate Meredith's look in the live chat, y'all. Dress, shoes, and stylist. I hate her. Oh my God, why? And look, okay. Dress, shoes, and stylist, Brooks Marks. This shooter, look, just because your son is gay does not mean he knows what he's doing, okay? Just because he's gay and claims to be a fashion designer doesn't know what he's doing. And at this particular point, you're making him look bad. You're making him look bad. Dress, shoes, and stylist, Brooks Marks. I didn't know he made dresses, and I didn't know he was making shoes. Jewelry, Meredith's own, as you know, she has jewelry. Hairstylist, Rosario Canada? Oh, whatever. Makeup artist, Zach Phoenix. I mean, hair and makeup look good. I'll give her that. Hair and makeup looks good. Right? Hair and makeup looks good. That's about it. I don't love this dress. I don't love the style. It's giving, I don't know what it's giving. It's definitely giving housewife, though. I don't like it, though. Meredith, I want more for you. Because I think Meredith is a beautiful woman. But no. She says my shoes were inspired by my Stardust jewelry. Oh, Lord. Always hawking their wares. It's inspired by my Stardust jewelry collection, which was modeled after the stars and the sky at night in Park City, where she has her rental. Meredith shared of her look designed by her son, Brooks. Say No to Book Band says, I think this is her worst reunion look. You forgot about the feathers? No, I don't think this is worse than the feathers with the blue, the suit that she was wearing. No, I don't think this beats that. I think that was her worst reunion look. How would you guys rate it though? I still think it's better than Heather's. I'm gonna give it a 5. No, I can't. I can't give it a 5. Can I change my score for Heather? Heather's gonna get a 3. Meredith is gonna get a 4. Okay, and Lisa's going to get a 5. All right. So Heather gets a 3. Meredith gets a 4. Lisa gets a 5. Because Lisa didn't take any risks. Okay. So the newbie, who I kind of changed my mind about this week, but I'm still here for Bronwyn. All right. Bronwyn's look. So Bronwyn's look is dressed. Okay, see, the girls are getting the designers. Like Angie K has Oscar de la Renta. Bronwyn has Carolina Herrera. Shoes, Valentino. Jewelry, Melissa K. Hairstylist, Jacob Rosenberg. Makeup artist, Sofia Vallejos. And honestly, she's bringing it. And it looks like she's got a refresh in the face because after this past week's look, I said that's a hard 39 or 38. Horde. But I think she's had a refresh since the season and she looks fantastic. I like this. It's a lot of material, but this is on par for who she has been throughout the season. Okay? How would you guys rate Bronwyn's look? I think this is good. I don't think it's better than Angie K though. And I think she was trying to be over the top because that's what she's done. And I'm seeing Bronwyn, especially after this week, a little bit differently. And now I'm seeing her as someone that's thirsty to be on the show. And that's why she's aligning herself with Lisa, and she's trying to make up, be friends with Lisa and be up her butt like everyone else. Bronwyn, no, girl. Be your own person. And I think she will be. I think she was navigating the season and try to shift. But I think after the season and seeing everyone's commentary on her, she's kind of stepped into her own. I like this look, though. It's not the best look. I'm going to give this like an 8.5, though. I think this was a solid look. I like it. I like her hair. I like that she didn't add hair. I like that she embraces like the short hair. Short hair don't care, right? I like that she embraces the short hair. And look, she's taken a lot of risk over the season. A lot of them I did not like, but I actually kind of like this on her. It's different. She took a risk. Remember, Lisa did not take a risk. So when I look at someone like this, I'm going to take a risk. It works. It does kind of feel a little bit, though, like the dress is wearing her and she's not wearing the dress. You know what I mean? It kind of it kind of engulfs her a little bit. But I appreciate it. Bronwyn, I'm going to give you an 8.5. I'm going to give you 8.5. I think this was a solid look. Anyone else? I thought it was a solid look. Okay. Whitney Rose. Look, Whitney Rose sometimes can be a hit or miss. But this, again, someone that really didn't take a risk. I feel like she's had some good reunion looks. Not always, but I feel like she's had some good reunion looks. Her dress is by Minot. Her shoes are by Renee Cavovilla. Jewelry is by Prism. That overpriced jewelry. By Prism and Nicole Rose Jewelry. Hairstylist is Julius Michael. Makeup artist is George Miguel. Nails are Jenny Hart. Stylist is Katie Pear. Oh, wait, someone else used Katie Pear in here. Let me see. Who was that? They used Katie Pear. Yeah. Oh, it was actually Angie. Angie also used the same stylist. I just don't think this particular photo shows us the dress. It's simple, it's basic, but it's giving sultry and sexy at the same time. I don't know if I really love the split. The split might be a little too open, but she doesn't look bad. She doesn't look great. It's very safe. Exactly. Dawn says, "Can we see the dress, Whitney?" She's too busy trying to give us, a pose. So it's hard because we can't really see the dress. It's hard for me to give it a good grade. I'm going to give it a 6 because I do think she looks good, but I don't love it. And I also don't love the fact that she's not really showing us the dress. Okay. How would you guys rate it? I'm giving it a 6, right? That's what I said. As for Whitney's style inspo, she had one thing in mind: looks don't lie. Huh? Okay. Fine. She says, looks don't lie. Except you do, right? Except you do. You lie. Okay, so the reunion, look, next week is the season finale of season 5 finale of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. They've had a really good season. Everyone was like, season finale? We've been enjoying the season so much. But yeah, the reunion is coming, so that will be interesting to see all of these reunion looks in motion, and we can judge again and revisit that. All right. Before we get into Karen Huger, let's first talk about Mia Thornton. I know. Mia Thornton. So Mia Thornton of Real Housewives of Potomac, as you know, we did a separate live talking to, reading the article from Essence Magazine where they said that Mia's storyline is not funny. It's not enjoyable to watch. We unpacked that. As you know, the next day, the NAACP Image Award nominations came out, and Real Housewives of Potomac was nominated. So Mia decided to share that on social media. Okay. She shared it on social media and responded to a couple of comments. One person says, "Let's pray Essence doesn't have anything to do with the voting." So Mia responds and say, "Exactly, Queen." I always tell you guys, there's always going to be a fan of anybody. All right. Another person says, "What Essence magazine have how the tea?" First of all, wait. I'm sorry. The fact that I can barely read the comments of the people that are posting it, I'm like, that says what it. All I need to know. The people that I can't even read the sentence that they're trying to formulate. Okay. Let me go back to it. So Mia posted that, the NAACP Image Awards nominated the show for Outstanding Reality Program. They don't deserve it. I'm sorry. It's been a decent season, but it's getting lame as the weeks go by. So Mia's responding to comments under the post, and this one person says, what Essence magazine? How to say now?" I'm reading exactly as they said it. Okay. Mia says, "Period." Okay. Tish says, "Found her demographic." Oh my God. If you can't formulate a sentence, I'm not going to take you seriously. Okay. It's fine. I mean, both comments, the sentences didn't make sense to me. I stand with Essence. I stand with Essence. I'm shocked that this show is even being nominated at the NAACP Awards. They don't deserve it. They've been so problematic the last few seasons. But anyways, doesn't mean that they're going to win. Okay. All right. But congratulations, I guess. Not really. I mean, especially after this season with Karen. Oh, all right. Let's get into Karen Huger. So, noticeably absent from the seating chart, literally, let me just say this. So, OMSG Reality TV added Bravo TV on Twitter. It's like, so where is the seating chart? Because they've been releasing the seating charts for the reunions. As soon as the reunion starts filming, we're getting that like a couple of hours in to the reunion. So we know who's there. But a lot of people were wondering whether or not Karen Huger was going to come to this reunion because, as you know, the body cam footage was damning. She was convicted of the 5 of the 6 charges. She's facing at least 2 years in jail. So there's a lot. She has her sentencing coming up at the end of the month. So people were wondering on whether or not Karen was going to attend the reunion. And a lot of people have asked me, I was like, I don't see her missing it because it is a nice check for them when they do attend. However, we got the reunion seating chart. So OMFG Reality TV added Bravo asking them that. And I replied to OMFG Reality TV on Twitter and I said, I think they're probably not releasing it yet because we don't know whether or not Karen actually showed up to the reunion. Only for shortly after I said that, they released it. And as you can see, Karen was not there. So a lot of people, hold on. Well, let me see something. Chanel, what are you talking about? Let me take this down. I even saw your comment. Kempire, you are getting really problematic with your kinds of comments and positions you take. I am disappointed. Please tell me what comments and commentary have been problematic, Chanel. Please share for the audience. Please share. We would love to hear. Anyways, moving on. Back to the seating chart. So the seating chart came out. So a lot of people were like, so Karen didn't attend? So that some people were like, okay, maybe Karen does attend. Or maybe something else happened. Where was Karen? Did Karen just fall out? Did not want to do it? Is she at home? Okay. So shortly after that, the news came out from her manager that Karen has entered into rehab. So this is an exclusive at Bravo TV. So they knew that she wasn't going to attend the reunion. So Karen Huger was noticeably absent from the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 9 reunion taping in New York City on January 9th, and now her team is explaining why. In a statement shared exclusively with the Daily Dish, Karen's manager, Ryan Tresdell, said Karen made the important decision to enter a private recovery program, so was unable to attend the reunion taping today. She was fully supported in this choice. We stand behind Karen as she embarks on this meaningful journey and are proud of her for taking such a significant step forward in her personal growth. As previously reported, Karen was found guilty on multiple counts after charges were filed related to driving under the influence in Maryland in March. Karen's lawyer, A. Scott Bolden, released a statement to People on December 18th after the jury reached her verdict. Although we are disappointed in the jury's verdict, we are of course respect their decision and appreciate their time hearing our case. We continue to reserve Ms. Huger's right to an appeal and intend to fully pursue justice on her behalf, the attorney added. We appreciate your support and prayers for Mrs. Huger and her family at this time. Okay? So, that was what was said at the time. So a lot of us are like, is she going to pursue an appeal? Well, shortly thereafter that, we saw the body cam footage where clearly Karen Huger was inebriated. Okay? So here's the thing. I'm happy that Karen is getting the help that she needs. The timing of this is very questionable because now she doesn't have to show up for the reunion. Now she doesn't need to answer for the body cam footage. Now this is happening right before her court case, her sentencing, I should say, when you could have done all of this before. Because remember, Karen Huger saw this body cam footage before we all did. Even if she was inebriated at the time, she saw this body cam footage. Her attorneys saw this body cam footage. Yet she still decided to take this to court because the Grand Dame feels like she's above anything. And I really do believe that the court is going to take that all into account. That you decided to come all to court, to trial, and fight this when you clearly saw that you were inebriated. So some say when you don't show up for a reunion, Bravo will punish you. You won't return. We have to remember she's not showing up for a reunion because she went into rehab. Technically, again, I always remind you, they are an employer. So the fact that she went into rehab means that they really can't not renew her contract. I mean, they could, but I don't know if Karen should return. She's shown no accountability, no remorse. We don't know what the court is going to say in a couple of weeks in regards to her sentencing. According to our friends over at TV Deets and their exclusive, they're reporting that Karen entered rehab weeks ago. So, I mean, it would make sense if she's going to at least do like a 30-day program, she would have had to enter already because she has to show up in court at the end of this month. Do I believe that it's genuine, or do I believe it's just the same thing that we've seen so many other celebrities and reality personalities doing the same thing? Let me go to rehab now. Karen, you probably should have went to rehab the minute you saw that body cam footage. You probably should have taken a plea then. Because then I think this entire cast, I think the community that watches this show would be able to respect the Grand Dame. But when you go back and you watch season after season of Karen feeling like she's above it all, we shouldn't be completely surprised that Karen handled the situation the way that she did. But it's one thing to be above it all in lighter conversations, not when you could have taken your life and other people's lives. And this is not the first time. Allegedly, it's not the second or third time. I think it's irresponsible. I look at Karen Huger very differently after this season. I'm never going to sit here and say that Karen Huger has not added funny humor, even in this season. But seeing this side of Karen Huger, when this is the time for you to show up, not for us, not for the people that watch the show, even though you should, because on some level you are influencing people that are watching you. But for your own self, for your own family, for your husband, for your children, you got your cousin, you got your daughter out here on the show. When I'm pretty sure they never saw that body cam footage. You saw that body cam footage and you still hauled them out here on this reality show to come to your defense when you were clearly guilty. Clearly guilty. And now you want to go to rehab and get the help that you need. I hope that you really do get the help that you need. I could care less if you wanted to come to the reunion or not. Some people are saying, though, the fact that Karen's not at this reunion, please make it a one-part reunion. What are we going to talk about at this reunion? It's going to be all about Mia? Essence just said no one's really interested in Mia. No one's interested in Mia's storyline. Or we're gonna spend 1 or 2 parts on Mia? Okay, we're gonna get an update on Stacy and her relationship with TJ. We're gonna get an update on where Wendy and Eddie's family are. Okay, 1, 2, done. Oh, Ashley's getting a divorce. 1, 2, done. We could wrap this up in 1 part. 1 part. Well, let's be honest. Karen Huger has not shown any sort of remorse, hasn't shown any accountability during the season. She would have been forced to show accountability here because with the body cam footage, if that didn't come out, I think she could have still fought it. She could have still played to the world like, I didn't do anything wrong. She could have done that if that body cam footage didn't come out. It was the body cam footage that put the nail in the situation. So it makes me interested to know how she would have played it at the reunion. Probably, again, not showing any accountability for what she did. She needs to take accountability. Not for us, for herself. Because that's the first start of healing whatever is going on with Karen in rehab. She's got to take her own accountability there. Anyways, so Karen Huger is in rehab, all right? We don't know what that means for her future with Bravo or Real Housewives of Potomac. We also don't know what that means in regards to her sentencing that is at later in the month. Don't forget, guys, the Kempire After Dark live experience. I'm going to talk that talk. Wait till I come to Washington, D.C. on Friday, January 24th. If you haven't got your tickets yet, there are still some tickets available and meet and greet tickets available as well. We have a lot to talk about, and my special guest from the What Else Is Going On podcast, Tory will be our MC, so make sure you come out and support that. Shasha, thank you so much for the super chat. Shasha says, do Dubai girls in red are greater, whatever this is? I have to agree. The Dubai girls brought it when in their reds, okay? Miranda, thank you so much for the super chat. Miranda says, you tell him, Karen, this is very coincidental. It is coincidental. If you paid attention to Karen's behavior over the years, we should not be surprised that Karen decided not to show up at this reunion and go to rehab conveniently at this time. And the fact that we're finding out that she went weeks ago, I think that's all strategic as well. I think Karen has been using the blogs for the last few seasons. I think we got to see it a little bit more transparent this season. You remember when Mia said, oh, she's going to go to one of her blogger friends and dig up dirt, and literally we had Karen bringing up Mia's whole her overdose situation. I was like, there were a lot of. I was like, also Karen, you are the one that's been speaking to the blogs. You were the one. Ariana, thank you so much for the super chat. Ariana says, I don't like this. If she wanted help, she would have gone right after the DUI. I used to love Karen, but she should not return. Wear them cookies, Melissa. The cookies did arrive, y'all. Update on the cookies. They did not arrive here. So Real Housewives of New Jersey star Melissa Gorga, as you know, has that sprinkled by MG. So it's been delayed getting my cookies. They apparently had the wrong address. Not sure how they had that wrong, because I didn't give them the wrong address. So they ended up delivering it. They must have known they had the wrong address. Something happened there. So they ended up sending it to my old address. So I have to go pick those up tomorrow. So don't expect anything from me tomorrow until I get those cookies, okay? So that's the update on the. Include this Mama Allie as the cookie update. I'm gonna get those hard cookies. We'll see. Because if they survive, then they still are delicious despite all the transportation issues. Melissa, this is not faring well for you, girl. Exactly. AGJ says Cookie Gate at this particular point. Jocelyn, thank you so much for the super chat. Jocelyn says, did she take the wig? Can it be her reunion? Can it be her reunion proxy? You want the wig to sit there and answer questions? Tell its side of the situation, because it was there. It was definitely there. Anyways. Kalani, thank you for being a member for so long. 14 months. It says, wow, no Thomas Jefferson's concubine. Bummed. Yeah. I think a lot of people are bummed. Because even if Karen showed up and didn't show accountability or didn't want to talk about it because she's like, it's on appeal, she's still funny. She's still humorous. But the fact that she didn't show up at all, we now have found out, for those that are just joining us, Karen Huger is in rehab. And apparently, according to TV Deets, she's been in rehab for weeks. Sage, thank you so much for the super chat. Sage says, Karen is a huge deflector. She's been doing it a long time. If you go back and watch the old season, she's been doing that. She's been playing in our faces all season. It's giving grand scam. But also, RHOP is in its flop era. Sage. I mean, I have to say, the season kind of was like, okay, we're going. And now it's like, we're at the end. It's like, ooh, this is not great. All right. So that's the update in regards to Karen Huger. Okay. What else did I want to talk about? What do I have here in my arsenal? All right. So as you know, we've been following the Stephen Twitch boss situation, and Twitch's mom is speaking out. So let me just remind you, Allison Holker, Stephen Twitch boss's widow, has written a book called This Far. She did an interview with People Magazine this week talking about a discovery that she had when preparing for his funeral. She discovered drugs in some of his shoe boxes. She also reveals that she read some of his journals that revealed some of the abuses that he's experienced in his life. So since then, friends of Twitch have come out and slammed her. They said they had to sign an NDA at the funeral. They said that she's been terrible to his mother. So there have been a lot of people reacting to Allison's decision to share some of this stuff. And I told you, I feel like she has every right to share this because she as well was left with no answers. He took his own life and left no answers. Well, Twitch's mom is speaking out. But first, Allison responded to all the backlash that she was receiving, clearing up some of what has been out there. So Allison released this statement, okay? Allison says, to the fans of Stephen and our family and friends, I want to be clear that my only intention in writing the book is to share my own story as well as a part of my life with Stephen to help other people. Just like you, I never really knew what happened, and even as I'm trying to put the pieces together, I will never really know. If you decide to read the book, hopefully you'll see my intention is to celebrate the love and life I shared with Stephen and our 3 beautiful children, and also the more complex aspects of both of our lives. I hope that by sharing our full story, maybe I can help someone else who might see themselves or a loved one in Stephen. In sharing, I hope that maybe they can catch some of the red flags that I missed before it's too late. Over the course of the last 2 years, I've spoken in detail with NAMI, as well as the Solomon family and the Defensive Line Foundation to better educate myself on mental health issues so that I can share warning signs with others. All of the proceeds from this book are going to fund the mental health focused foundation I started in Stephen's honor. Move with kindness. My hope is that we don't need to lose another husband, brother, father, or friend to suicide. I believe that if Stephen were able to choose, he would choose to have his story told if it meant saving even one life. Much love to all those who have supported our family these many years. So that was Allison's statement because she was receiving a lot of backlash since releasing this interview that she did with People Magazine. And I have to say, there's been a mixed conversation on was it right? And I get it. I get people being uncomfortable with these kinds of conversations being revealed. Okay? After watching the Luther Vandross documentary, I can see how people don't talk about the dead in their business. I just want to remind you guys, the dead, all of what we are bothered by and triggered by, the dead don't care. I'm telling you that. Not because I've been dead. I'm telling you, when you leave this earthly plane, the things that matter to you here do not matter anymore to you. You are truly free. You don't care about any of this stuff. And I agree with Allison that if this could save one person's life, then it was worth it. Because a lot of people, like, I've seen comments where people say, how does she miss any of the red flags? There are plenty of people that miss out on the red flags of when someone has taken their life, and then they blame themselves. They should not blame themselves. Because she also talks about how he really put up a good front in regards to not really talking about all the things that he had gone through. Remember, she had been with this man for many years. And she talks about how some of the things that she discovered after he died. So, as I said before, some of his friends and family have spoken out in regards to this. And now his mother is speaking out. Okay, so Twitch's mother says this in a statement on social media. Let me just bring this up. She says this in a statement. Hold on, let me just move this over here. All right. Twitch's mom, Connie, says this. Our family is absolutely appalled by the misleading and hurtful claims made about my son, Stephen Boss. The recent publications spreading untruths about Stephen have crossed every line of decency. As his mother, I will not let these accusations go unanswered. We will not stand by while his name and legacy are tarnished. He doesn't deserve this, and the kids don't deserve this. For the last 2 years, I have remained quiet and away from the public eye to protect my family. My primary focus has been on healing and attempting to remain connected to my grandchildren. But when I read these dreadful claims about my baby, our beloved Stephen, I realized I could not stay silent any longer. Our family will ensure his name and memory are protected, and we are committed to defending his honor. Connie Boss Alexander, hashtag stand for Stephen, hashtag Boss Family United, hashtag SLB, hashtag LLSLB. All right. So that is his mother's statement in regards to what's been out there. She doesn't address Allison directly. So I thought that was interesting. It will be interesting to see what else she will have to say in regards to what Allison says in this book. All right. Morgotu says, Kempire, I'm sorry, but I don't believe Allison. And that's fine. Like, none of us know for sure. All of us are spectators in these people's lives. Okay. Okay. Let me see what else you guys are saying in the chat. Foxy says, I respect his mother. Let me see. Mary says, I agree with his mother. Tyree says, oh, I'm so sorry, mama. Danny says, asking the mother to sign an NDA to attend the funeral is foul, though. Very, very much so. Marie says, the mama is in denial. Nobody is perfect. See, that's the thing. Clearly, he was struggling with something. And I said this in the initial video that we did covering the story. Clearly, he was struggling with something. So for us to kind of sit here and act as if nothing was going on with him, that there weren't some personal struggles, I feel like that is, again, perpetuating what exactly caused him to suffer in silence. And I see that a lot, especially within our community, people suffering in silence. People keep saying, oh, well, that shouldn't be talked about in public. But you're also not talking about these things at home. You're not having those open conversations. Just saying. Anyways, okay. What else did I want to talk about? Did I talk about everything that I wanted to talk about before I drop the call-in link? Guys, don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. And dislike the video if you want as well. That helps as well. Thank you in advance. Anyways, because apparently I'm problematic. Look, everyone's going to have their opinion, but please understand, just as you have your opinion, I will respond to said opinion. Did she ever say why I was problematic? Yet you're here subscribed. Okay. All right. Let me drop the call-in link for those that want to call in and share their thoughts quickly because it is late here in New York City. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's easy and it's free. Okay. All right. Let me drop this here. Let me drop it for the members first. And don't forget, guys, you can also hear an audio version of our live recaps on the Kempire YouTube, Kempire podcast as well. Let me just do this here. Okay. All right. So if you're a member of the channel, we're going to drop the call-in link on the community tab for those that want to call in and weigh in on some of the hot topics that we discussed tonight. Okay. Members, we dropped the call-in link for you guys as well. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying. Tutu, it's okay. Tutu says, no, you're not problematic. Look, you're not, you might not think that, but there'll be people, because they don't agree with you, automatically will like, oh, you're problematic, or you're this, or you're that. It's okay. You can think what you want to think. But again, if I see it, I can respond to it. And I will respond to it. Mr. Melvin Magic says, Kemp, those cookies are going to have mold on them. And if they do, I'm going to show you guys. Just saying. All right. Live chat. We're going to drop the call link for you guys as well now. There we go. Let me see. Okay. Lala says, truth or not, we shouldn't know this information. If he thought it would be helpful, he would have came out himself. You know, he took his life. He was suffering. If he felt like he couldn't share things with the world. So I see, I get where people are coming from in regards to Twitch and how they're feeling about the Twitch situation, but we have to realize he decided to take his life, leaving so many unanswered questions, not just for his wife, but also for his children. So us sweeping this under the rug, how is that helping anyone? How is that protecting the children if we don't have a conversation about that? And I'm glad that we're having the conversation. I'm glad that we all don't agree on this topic, because it allows us to have the conversation. Because before this, we wouldn't have the conversation. It would have still been the situation of like, oh, we don't know what happened. Why did he do that? We would continue being that way. Like, oh, why did he do that? Twitch suffered in silence. He suffered in silence because he felt like he couldn't share that with the world or his family. Okay. All right. Okay. We have some folks backstage that want to call in and share their thoughts. Again, if you're a member of the channel, we've posted the call link on the community tab. If you're part of the replay crew, as always, we love to hear from you. And if you want to share your opinions, you don't have to agree with me. But if you're been here a long time, you know you don't have to agree with me. Okay? Feel free to share your opinions, but don't attack other people for their opinions. Share your opinion. We don't moderate adults. Healing Era with therapist Trisha says, as a mental health therapist, this is very common. Families tend to blame the wife when a man commits SI. His wife has done nothing wrong. This is coming from a mental health therapist who sees things like this all the time. Thank you so much, Trisha, for sharing that. All right, we have a few people backstage. Look, I'm already tired. All right, everyone, please share your thoughts quickly so that we can get to everyone that's backstage. All right, I'm not going to put the timer on. Maybe I'm going to put the timer on because some of y'all would just keep going and going if I don't. All right, let's get into it. Let me first change this, though. Let me put up the disclaimer. First. And don't forget, guys, the Kempire After Dark live experience is coming to Washington, D.C. and then New York City in February. All ticket information will be available in the description. All right, where is here it is. There we go. All right, so the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, our sponsors, et cetera, et cetera. All right, Nicole's backstage. We're going to bring Nicole up first. Nicole, what did you want to share about some of these hot topics?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm calling because this is personal to me with the Twitch thing. I see what his wife is doing, because I lost one of my childhood best friends from he unalived himself
Sorry.
back in 2012.
Wow.
He suffered from PTSD, PTSD. He served his country for 18 years. He was in the army.
Wow.
So there was a whole host of things. But his wife, who is a childhood friend of mine as well, best friend, I
Wow.
watched her go for a whole year. And the reason I'm siding with Twitch's wife is because my best friend's wife, it was until she took the a house apart, to relocate, to move down closer to her parents to help her raise the children.
Yeah.
That's when she found things like machete under the mattress. That the whole
Mm.
time that they were married. So it is possible that the spouse will find out things that he or she might have hidden over time.
And
So
not
I
know the
think people
entire
should.
time.
Exactly, and like I said, when you have someone that's close to you that unalives themselves, it affects everybody,
Yeah.
friends, family, everybody. And so I'm like, give the woman a little grace because she's grieving. Because even like now, like I said in 2012, he unalived himself. We're still trying to find answers.
Wow.
Why?
Yeah.
And I believe that he's a black man, and I agree with you on the mental health. Like, he already had underlying issues. This dude grew up in the southeast of DC in the hood, went
Mm.
into the military, and then on top of that, just those underlying issues bottled up. He suffered in silence, and I'm assuming that's how Twitch's wife, Twitch, he was the same way. But I do want to say this: I did read a report that where I'm kind of side eyeing her because they said in his toxicology reports there was no any type of drug use.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. So, but I'm giving her grace.
Yeah.
But what you're saying with the family right now, that's normal because
Yeah.
everybody is searching for answers and they're not coming to grips with the fact that this person they thought was such a sweetheart was really broken and damaged.
Yeah.
So that's all I wanted to say. Have a blessed night,
You too,
sweetheart.
Nicole. Thank you so much for calling in. All right. Oh, sorry. All right. Thank you, Nicole, for sharing your story. Rasani's backstage. You're going to bring Rasani up next. Rasani, what did you want to share in regards to this story or
Two
stories?
times in one day.
I
My
know. Look
God.
at you. You disappeared on us, and now you're back.
Okay, I know that there was a comparison with the red with the Dubai and Salt Lake City ladies. The Salt Lake City ladies could actually show up at the reunion in red robes and white bedroom slippers, and we would all be fine because they had a stellar season. Dubai, you cannot. And bye bye. For Karen, I don't know. It like dawned on me. I was watching one of your replays. I think it might have been with the Brooke Ashley and
Taria.
Taria. I think it might have, and I was like, oh my God, it just dawned on me. Karen knew what Karen did, right?
Mm-hmm.
She knew that they had body cam, yada, yada, yada. Filming started shortly after the accident.
Yep.
Karen decided, because more than likely, the prosecution, the courts don't want to tie up anyone with unnecessary, those unnecessary legal bills and whatever to taxpayers. That's a waste of time. So they offered her a plea deal. I'm almost 100% sure that they did.
Mm. Mm.
Karen decided to take it to trial because she did not want to talk about it in her upcoming filming. This is just my speculation.
Mm-hmm.
How I view it, it shows me that you're very calculated, very manipulative. You don't want to take responsibility. Here we go now. We're going to go into rehab so that we don't have to face any of this. The producers are watching, and if not, you can clip this bit out and send it to them. One, I think she should go to jail for 2 years for wasting court time.
Oh.
All of the 2 years. Yes, you should. Two, when she comes out, if they want to bring her back, they should demote her to a friend of and pay her a season 1 friend of salary. Because I know that they wouldn't be able to fire her because of the ADA, Americans with Disabilities. So they probably wouldn't be able to fire her because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But demote her to a friend of and pay her season 1 friend of salary. So she's either going to come back on that terms or she's going to quit. But realistically, I don't have time for Karen and her games. And, if at least what's her name? Shannon, she took accountability. Luann took accountability. Didn't Luann show up for the reunion when she had that rehab thing?
I think so, yeah. I can't remember. You guys remind me in live
Remember,
chat.
Kim Richards was in rehab and showed up for the reunion. Karen doesn't want to take accountability for anything, and she wants to. If you don't want to show your real life, then you don't need to be on reality TV, and that should go for all of these housewives. They fired the OG of the OGs, Vicky Gungelson. They fired the Nene Leakes. Clearly, that was not an indication to them that they need to show up and do their jobs. So Bravo needs to step up, or the production company. I don't know which one. They need to step up and use these girls as an example. If you don't want to show up and tell your life, then you need to go. I mean, like, Potomac has been utter crap this season. It's just on for background noise for me, realistically. Because they're featuring Mia when, don't you have 6 other cast members? Okay, we can't talk about Karen because it's legal and it's a court. Giselle had a storyline. She's doing a process with her father and her will. That could have been something helpful. With Housewives, and what's good about Salt Lake City is the NOC is that they had several different storylines going on at the same time.
Yeah.
All of the other ones, it's not. So it's like, it's boring. Until the last season of Game of Thrones. That's what made Game of Thrones exciting. It's different storylines happening at the same time. That's what makes a book good. I'm just going to read this one chapter and go to bed, and then you get stuck in the second chapter because you want to find out what happened. No, just Karen can go. Sorry, it took up a lot of time. Good night, guys. I pray for everyone in California. Please be safe.
Yes.
If they say to evacuate, please leave.
Yes.
Julie, I'm praying for your husband with a speedy recovery, and I hope you're doing better. And health and wealth to everyone in the chat. Good night, guys. Love you.
Thanks, Rasani. Rasani said give her a friend of first season paycheck. Damn, y'all are tough. Speaking of tough, Yawa's daughter says Twitch's wife lying. Why you need help cleaning out his closet? Why didn't you buy him something to wear? Wait, so you think it was easy after losing someone that you love so unexpectedly? They've taken their life. You think it might be easy for her to pick out something for him to wear, or to even go and shop for something for him to wear? I wish you guys would put yourselves in other people's places. Maybe you've never lost someone close to you or understand how hard something like that might be. Like, that never stood out to me as being strange, that she needed help in picking out something for a funeral that she did not plan on having. I just wish that you guys would, at least if you, I get it, everyone's not going to agree on this topic, but I wish you would kind of put yourself in someone else's place. All right, let me get to more callers. We got people backstage. Mel is backstage. We're going to bring Mel up next. Mel, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. You know what? I think that I hope that, listen, Karen is not one of my favorite characters. I mean, after season 2, she wasn't my thing. But I do hope that Bravo treats her the way they treated Luann. I do. Mm-hmm. I think that Luann got a lot of chances over there. And yeah, she at one point did miss a reunion because of a rehab situation as Karen is having this year. So yeah, I hope that she gets the same thing. I think even with Luann at one point, she was able to do the show because she had like a brace or some kind of thing, some kind of electronic monitoring thing on her at one point. And she was always having to test her alcohol levels or something. I forget. It was I saw that season a couple of years ago. But yeah, she definitely had some restrictions, and it still worked for the show. And the ladies didn't make fun of it, so it was kind of funny stuff like that. I was gonna say too, the funny thing about those cookies, because I'm hearing about the cookies and stuff like that. You know how sometimes you go to Duane Reade, you live in New York City, and you see those cookies on the shelf that they warm. You know that store is too warm. By the time you get it home, those cookies are like all like stale, and I hope well, I hope the box she send them in is temperature controlled, and they don't get all warm and all, because they come out real stale. I mean, I'm scared. I'm scared for you. I don't want cookies to come out.
Oh my God. I will
I
say
am
though,
because
they're in an area in my home, my other home, where there is temperature controlled.
okay, because the delivery and everything. I'm waiting. That's what part I'm excited about. You getting these cookies because I want to see what Miss Melissa is doing with her thirsty self.
Now
I want to
I'm not
see.
thirsty. Now I'm worried.
I
Thank
would
you.
listen, but Miss, I don't think of her as a cook. I wouldn't eat none of her pasta, none of her cookies, none like no. But I want to see you eat them. I want to. I'm curious to see if you like them. You're honest. I want to see how you think about them. I do.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
But
Bye,
that's
Mel.
all. Thank you very much.
Y'all really setting me up with these damn cookies, right? I'm gonna get the cookies tomorrow. Like I'm taking a special trip to go to my old house to go pick up these cookies. All right. Just as you ordered these cookies last year. Last year was last week. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh god, you guys are a mess. All right. All right, let me get to some more callers. But shout out to all of you that are weighing in. Again, I understand some of the topics that we're talking about can be very divisive, but please respect other people's opinions. Okay, just be respectful. That's all that I ask, especially in the replay. Okay. All right. Okay, we have quite a few people backstage. Again, everyone, please brief statements so that we can get to everyone. It is 10:30 here in New York, 10:30 p.m. Eastern in New York. Oh, Alma says, wait, Alma, hold on. Where's Alma's comment? I lost it, Alma. Oh, no, Alma says, sprinkle cookies are hard to get wrong. I mean, you're right. You're right. They're not the most complicated, but we shall see. All right. Jasmine, we're going to bring you up next. Jasmine, what did you want to share? It better not be about those damn sprinkle cookies either.
Hey, Kemp. Hey, everybody.
What's going on?
Thank you again for coming on live. I work in behavioral health as well, and
Okay.
I agree with the other mental health person, but I'm still on the fence
Okay.
about the twit situation. My main question is, can Andy arrange a tell-all for the wig? The wig has been around the
Jasmine, I did
world.
not
The
expect you to make this
wig.
turn. What?
I'm stuck on this because I'm bringing some lightheartedness. The wig
I
has been to
appreciate it.
Panama. It's been to Panama. It's been with the Blue Eye Bandit. It's been with the other people. It's been in her dreams. I want to
Not
know
in her
if we can get
dreams.
it. Because she talked about the specific dreams that she had. I just want a tell all with the wig because I feel like it has a lot to say. And once through with that, I think this will give Mia a time for her to shine. So unfortunately, this is going to give Mia more airtime, but I would like a tell all with the wig.
The wig
I
is
think it has
here.
a lot to say.
The wig is here. Okay? The wig is here. Right?
Yeah.
Ready
The
the
wig
wig,
is,
the wig is ready to answer your questions.
Cam, what would you ask the wig? That's what I want to know.
I want to ask the wig how it held on for dear life that
That's what,
entire night.
yeah,
I want to
that's
ask the wig, was the wig wet?
yes. Perfect questions. That's all I wanted. I just had to throw in some extra shade about that wig. I
Like,
appreciate you taking the call, Kemp, and everybody have a good night.
thanks, Jess. I did not expect that to go that way. OMG. I appreciate every once in a while you need the lightheartedness. There's so much going on in this world, from politics to the fires in California. I know we all need a little bit of a break from some of that. All right. So, all right, we have Arjun backstage. We're gonna bring Arjun up. And Arjun, isn't it late where you are?
It's literally 3:30.
Okay, and not too bad. Okay, look, you coming in from the party?
Okay, so my thing is, I get Jacqueline is pregnant, right? So she might not show up to the reunion.
I didn't. Yeah, we didn't see any pictures. Well, we
What
haven't
about
seen any pictures
Jazzy?
yet.
What about Jazzy though?
I mean, she didn't really offer a lot.
But she was a friend of.
She was, but she might not be there. I don't think Jazzy will be there, to be honest with you.
Oh,
What are we
so
asking
we're not.
Jazzy?
Sorry, what did you say?
What are we asking Jazzy?
That's true. So we're not gonna get any friends off. It's only just gonna be the main cast.
I can see Jacqueline going.
But she's pregnant and she's not on the chart.
She's pregnant. She's not dead.
But she's not on the chart though. They didn't post her on the chart.
That is true. But did they post No, they didn't post Britney
Yeah.
either. They didn't post Britney.
Really?
Nope.
Oh wow. Okay. Then we'll see then. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just happy Giselle's first seat. I hope she goes in. And Mia.
Have you paid attention to Giselle and her reunion performances?
No, I know. I'm just hoping. Okay, let it be. I'm living my delusional life.
Oh, perfect, Arjun.
That's all. And Heather looked the best.
Oh,
Heather looked the best.
Arjun, that is a hot take.
No, she actually did. She looks good.
Let me bring up though before you go. You said Heather looks the best.
Yeah, it's nice and simple and looks good.
Arjun, goodbye. Good night. You're delusional. It's late.
Okay.
Bye, Arjun.
Goodbye.
He just came up here to troll us, y'all. Okay. All right. We have Toya backstage. We're going to bring Toya up next. Toya, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I just want to say I feel like Twitch's wife could have used more care.
Hmm.
It's okay to want to promote mental health awareness, but I feel like she could have partnered with BetterHelp or Talkspace or, something like that without saying, without bringing up the drug thing, because at the end of the day, he did unalive himself, and that's major in itself. And whatever he may have been dealing with, yeah, to me, she could have just easily tried to promote the importance of trying to speak to someone and could have marketed as, I wish that my husband would have taken this route. You know what I mean? Um, but there's so much drama there because an NDA, like, I
At the
mean, he
funeral.
was a celebrity, but he wasn't Beyonce. I think if you go to like someone on like a Michael Jackson funeral, you might have this, but not even those. I mean, those funerals are public.
No.
Okay, so I don't like that. To me, that was really sketchy. And her not being cool with his family. I mean, maybe they weren't even cool when he was alive. But at the end of the day, people need to be very mindful of the people that you choose to marry and how your family feels about them.
Yeah.
Because when you go away, the spouse has all of the control, not the mom. I know the mom made a statement, but what can she do? It's the spouse that has the control.
And she also doesn't want to ruin, being around her grandchildren because now the spouse.
Exactly.
But
But she
here's the
ain't
thing.
around them now.
Here's the thing. In regards to your statement about, partnering with BetterHelp or one of those platforms and talking about mental health, but isn't that just us still not talking about what the issue actually was or issues actually was? Isn't that just a sort of like giving us a sugary layer of what was happening without really talking about the things?
I think that if you're trying to help people, like she said, I think it's good to encourage people to talk to someone because so
Mm-hmm.
many people don't. And that will hopefully really help save lives. But there's so much speculation about him being on drugs. And to me, I feel like she was possibly insinuating that these were hard drugs.
Well, she listed some of the drugs, and then some of them she had to look up because she didn't know what they were.
Yes, but people don't always associate hard drugs with. I don't know. It's hard because you
Look.
look at the whole Mary situation, and her son, and you see that he did open up and talk to his mom, and I mean it's tricky.
Yeah.
It's very very tricky, but it was his choice to do so
Yeah.
in front of the cameras. And I think a lot of people are saying it wasn't Twitch's choice to do so. She could have very very easily made a blanket statement about possible drug use. My husband was battling addiction issues and left it there. We wouldn't have to know exactly what that addiction was, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's just a tricky situation. It's just a tricky situation, and I hope that her intent is good.
Yeah.
But a lot
Me
of
too.
people, when it comes to unaliving yourself, they feel like, well, you left me, so they're mad,
Mm. And I
and
wonder,
everyone
we have to remember
isn't.
we're talking about an interview. We haven't read the book. I don't know if the book
Yeah.
has even come out yet. So she could be talking more about that in the
Mhm.
book. So who knows? I mean, it's a book, so I would hope there's a lot more there.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Anyway, let me not be too long. I just want to say, Cameron, wow.
Wow. I hope Jossie is at the reunion. I want to hear her
Yeah.
talk about, clear up whatever's going on with her and her man. And I
That's
hope
gonna
that
take
she's
two
planning a
seconds.
wedding because I'd like to see her in the next season because I
I
want
mean,
to
I
hear
did like
going.
her. I did like Jazzy's personality.
Hmm.
It just didn't. We didn't get to see enough. I don't think she's going to be at the reunion.
The producers of Potomac need to contact the producers of Salt Lake City because y'all
Well,
chose to show us the foolishness about Mia. I would have loved to hear about Giselle's father's, because the whole will situation is a big deal. So many people and families, they go to war over, after someone passes away. So I would have liked to hear more about that. But of course, Giselle doesn't really talk much about her life.
but we
Um,
also have to think about in regards to that. That is considered a legal situation. Maybe she really can't talk too much about it. I know I'm
oh,
giving
true, true,
Giselle
true.
grace, but God, I try to be fair.
True, true, true. She could, I mean, but also maybe she did and the producers just didn't show it.
That part,
So
that's true too. But
yeah, they
again, what
chose to
else is
focus
going on
on
in
Mia.
Giselle's life that we didn't get much of?
Yes, we know she has siblings too, right?
Look at this.
And we
Wait,
just found that out.
Toya, look at this. The Girls Club says Kempire and the caller are giving us quiet storm realness.
Oh, okay. Hello, hello, hello. All right, let me not say too long. Let me
Thanks, Toya, for
go.
calling in. Have a good
Have a
night.
have a good one, Campfire.
Bye. All right, we're gonna continue. We're gonna get to some more calls, guys, but then I gotta go because I have to get up early. I got errands to run. I gotta go get those stale cookies. All right, Tutu, we're gonna bring up next. Tutu, what did you want to share?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Uh, I have insomnia. It's 4 a.m. here in France.
Oh my gosh,
I saw you were live, so I jump in.
poor thing, poor thing. What did you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the Twitch situation
Mhm.
with Alison Holger because I used to follow them. I used to follow Alison on Dancing with the Stars. I
Mm,
used to follow Twitch on So You Think You Can Dance.
mm,
And 2 years ago, when Twitch passed, I was shocked at the situation. And when everything starting to crumble down with the family, I was like, give her rest. There are 3 kids. She's alone. She's shocked. Let her be. But now, with what is coming out, her story is not adding up. Her
mm,
story is not making sense because now she's alleging it's about drug addiction, and even his family have said yes, he was addicted. He was using. Don't have the right word. Sorry, he was using, but legal things in US like my. I don't know if I have the right to say it, but
it's okay.
you
It's
know
a,
what I mean.
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
was using legal things. There was no drug found in his system when the autopsy happened.
Mhm.
There was no drug. Also, she waited until 24 hours before calling the police to report him missing.
Mm,
And now she is saying she thought he went to rehab for his addiction. But she's also saying she didn't know he was addicted.
no, I haven't seen that particular point, but
Yes, it's because at first the only issue I had with her statement was her talking about his child trauma.
mm,
That I didn't agree. The drug use, I was like, yes, it was part of the story. I get it. Now, with his family and his friends talking out and saying things, I'm like, oh, the story is not adding up. 2 years ago, it was fresh, it was shocking. I get it. It's not clear for her either. Now, we are more than 2 years past the event. It's still not adding up. It's still not making sense.
no.
And it's it's also the people that are calling her out. We have comfort from So You Think. She's not just some fame, you know what, talking out. She just work on weekends. She's someone important. She's very to herself. She is talking out. Plenty of dancers. Chelsea Hightower, Robert Walden, plenty of people who have kept they're usually quiet, they are talking out, and her story is not adding up. And I was Team Addison. I was like, leave her alone. I was defending her so hard 2 years ago when this happened. Now I'm seeing this. Now I'm like, something is not right.
Yeah.
I don't want to go conspiracy road because I do think he did it.
Yeah. I know there's
But
conspiracy theories out there that they believe that someone else did it, but
well, yeah, something about the dance cult in
we won't talk about
Utah. I don't
we
know
won't get
what it
into
is.
that.
Yes, but I don't believe that. I believe he did it, but the drug addiction thing is not making sense, and there are accusations also from his family that she is the one with the issue with drugs. That I think 5 people have mentioned now.
Mhm.
So something isn't clear, and sh- something isn't right with the way also she brought the story out.
Okay.
Because now it's falling on her, it's falling on her kids. I know her oldest daughter is not Twitch's daughter, but it was just like it was. She's a
She was like the last
teenager.
person to speak to him. All right.
Yes, she's a teenager, so they can see it. It's
Yeah.
very awkward, the situation.
All right. Tutu, we have a long line, so I want to be able to get to
Yes,
everyone.
yes, I'm done. I'm so
But
sorry.
no worries. But thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, Kempire.
Now get
Have
some
a good
sleep.
night.
You
Bonne
too.
nuit.
Bye. All right, let's get to some more callers, guys, really quickly, because again, it's almost 11 p.m. Eastern here in New York City. But if you're watching the replay of this, be sure to let us know your thoughts. And I know we have a few different things that are very divisive that we're talking about, but we can be able to talk about them. You can share your opinions, even if you don't agree with one another. Please do not attack each other for your opinion, okay? All right. We're going to bring up Sierra next. Sierra, what did you want to share about some of the hot topics that we've been discussing tonight? Sierra?
Oh, sorry, Kempire, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I think I was muted. Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
Okay, I had like a list of things to talk about,
Mm.
but I'm gonna just go straight to Potomac and Salt Lake City, okay? Because
Okay.
everything else is a bit much.
Yeah.
Let's start with Salt Lake City. 10 out of 10 season, amazing. But Bronwyn? Oh, Bronwyn is a little Virgo who does
Ooh.
nasty little things. You don't have to about Virgos. I don't like Virgos. I can't stand
What's
them.
your sign?
Scorpio sun, Scorpio rising, Aries moon.
Oh.
Crazier. I know it's a lot, but Virgo females, they do this thing where they want to, at least in my experience, they want to befriend you. They want to be nice to you. They want to know about a lot about your life, but none about theirs. You know, I'm a Scorpio, so I want to know about your life, but nothing about mine. And then they do this nice dance with us Scorpios and then drop us like a bad habit. I don't do that. Bronwyn, there's something with Bronwyn. I can't put my foot on it. I can't put my finger on it. But she is very thirsty for the show. She's not fundamentally, I don't think she's a good person either. And I think Heather is on something. And if I'm defending Heather, God strike me, because I don't even like Heather. If Heather has 0 haters, I'm dead. I don't even like Heather, but I think Heather is on to something. I think Heather was correct and I was wrong, because Bronwyn is a snake. She's a viper from the side. Watch next season. She is a viper.
I think we got to see a little bit of that this week's episode. And
Right. I'm like, you are so thirsty. Like, there's just something with Bronwyn. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, she's reading the girls. She's good. She's sharp. But that's a Virgo. That's natural to them. But there's something in that personality. I think Heather was onto something. And Heather, if you are right, again, oh my God, whatever.
I know.
So that's all.
I feel the same way.
Like, I don't even want to defend Heather. I don't. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now, who's next? Potomac. Giselle, another nasty little Virgo who does nasty little things. There's a lot of things to say about Giselle, Mia. They both are just critical losers. And I don't know why Bravo has an allegiance to get losers on this show and try to make them stars for some reason, because they peaked in high school and they didn't do anything else after. Now they're trying to get back on for a little bit of fame.
But wait a second.
Really does.
I just had a thought, Sierra.
Yes.
Do you think the reason why they cast folks like this? Remember, the creator of this show is Andy Cohen. Remember, Andy Cohen was the
Yes.
guy from behind the scenes. Now all of a sudden,
Yes.
he's the guy on the camera. Just saying. Do you think that's where it stems from? You know, it always starts at the
I
top.
100% agree. And if anybody knows about Andy Cohen's come up, I guess within To Bravo, and he's been very open to say, you know, like, I was the guy behind the scenes, I was the nerdy guy, I was this, but I've always went. And Andy's a Gemini. He lives for dumb shit. He just drama. Sorry, he just lives for foolery. But I think a lot of these people, like even Bronwyn, you look at Heather. I'm gonna drag Heather really quick. I'm sorry, Heather, but I have to drag Heather. Heather didn't even peak in high school. Heather has peaked at her age of 40 or 50 years old that she's at now.
She's not 50.
Amount of okay, 40 plus. And this is no age shame, but she has peaked right now, right? She's now on Ozempic, everything. Heather, if you ever even see this, no amount of Ozempic, makeup, hair will turn you into a good person. You are fundamentally not. You have always wanted to be the mean girl. And that's just who you are. But you could not be the mean girl because you're fat. You're fat and unattractive. And
Wait, no, come on, no body shaming, no.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
She wasn't.
She wasn't the popular girl in school.
She wasn't the popular girl. I'm not age shaming y'all. I'm thick, so I don't think I'm trying to comfort. She was not the popular, society norm, right? Attractive person. So she couldn't be who she truly was because she knew that everybody would drag her for filth. Now she looks 10. She like body is T. But she's just still who she is. And I think that's the same as like Andy Cohen, kind of even Bronwyn, even Giselle, these natural allegiances to losers. Because fundamentally, they are like their growth is stunted in high school. Look at how, like, if we look at Salt Lake, like, don't get me wrong, 10 out of 10 seasons, but if we look at Salt Lake, like Heather, Angie K, Lisa, like, they all act very like high school. But like even Beverly Hills doesn't act that way. Like they act very like grown and mature, and they have like these catty fights. But Salt Lake is like stuck at 17 years old. It's weird.
Okay.
But but to round this out, I know I went on a tangent. Potomac really quick. It just got a weird tangent. Potomac really quick. I wanted to ask you. There was a tweet on Twitter. Well, there's a lot of tweets on Twitter or X, whatever, about what would season 10 of Potomac look like. And what can an all-star cast be? In my personal opinion, I feel like they should wrap the show. And I know people get upset when they're like, why do y'all want to cancel it? And like, I'm not trying to take anybody out of a job. I do feel personally like Potomac is like, to me, it just feels kind of like done, kind of concluded. And not even because of Karen. I just haven't got anything out of the last 3 or 4 seasons. And it's very obvious that Giselle doesn't like there are no real core friendships. Everybody's out for themselves. So like Wendy has to walk on thin ice, and I think that shows in the show. Giselle has to walk on thin ice because she doesn't want to lose her job. Mia just makes up lies because it's like for her, like it's just fun. I don't see it going past this season. So my question to you is, if you could say like an all-star cast, what would that look like for you for season 10? I don't care for Stacey and TJ. I think I called in a few weeks ago, told y'all that was a fake relationship. No, thank you. Like, Stacey's fun and she's kooky, cool. Okay, but like, what else? Like, what else? Ashley Darby. When Michael Darby left the show, it went downhill. I don't know what's next for the show, so I'm curious on your thoughts.
I'm not one for rehashing or bringing back what of yesteryear because honestly, we don't have a lot to choose from when it comes to Potomac. We don't. When we think about the people that have come and gone, I'm not bringing back Katie. Katie needs to work on her, her mental health and her sobriety. No. We already tried to bring back Charisse. That didn't work.
Flop.
So I just don't feel like if we're gonna revamp, it would have to be like new people. To be honest.
I fully agree. I fully agree.
All right, Sierra.
Well, that's it. And then my very last...
No, Sierra, I gotta go. We have a long line.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye,
Thank you,
guys.
Sierra. Take care. Bye. We got a long line of people backstage. I can't... See, this is why I put the timer up. I said I'm not going to put the timer up, and everybody's just running, okay? Taurus World says, I thought Kempire set the timer. I did. Because I said, oh, no, people are going to respect the timer. I've learned that people do not. Mama Ellie will respect her own timer, right? Mama Ellie, what do you want to say?
I will try. No, I just had a couple of things. Regarding Karen, I know a lot of people are saying that they don't think she should do jail time. I think it's split half and half, to be honest. I think, there's those who say she should and those who say she shouldn't. I got permission to share this, so I don't feel bad sharing this, but my husband had 2 DWIs back before we met. And his second one, he was being going through the process of being sentenced when we first started dating. So that was kind of, it was a big surprise to me. I won't get into details. Don't have the time, but we live in Green Bay, Wisconsin, we live outside of Green Bay, Wisconsin, but Green Bay, Wisconsin. And so DWIs, OWIs, they're, just ridiculous around here. Drinking and driving is a national pastime or a state pastime. And he was sentenced to 9 months house arrest. He spent the weekend in jail. He had to go to rehab, and he lost his driver's license for a year and had to have a breathalyzer for 6 months after he got his license back.
Wow.
So that
in the car,
and I'm sharing this
in the car. He had the breathalyzer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and in his truck. And I'm sharing this not because I want to share his personal information, but to show you that when you have 2 DWIs, it's a lot. It's not okay. He hasn't touched alcohol ever since.
Wow.
He's 15 years sober at this point. And
congrats.
She needs to be held accountable. Whatever it is, whether it's house arrest or it's actual jail time, whatever it is, she needs to be held accountable. It can't just be because she's who she is that she gets off.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to share that, that's what it took for him to move on and take accountability and everything like that. So I don't think it's too much to ask that she goes through something similar.
Yeah. It will be interesting.
And that's just
we're going to continue to follow that Karen Uger sentencing. It will be interesting to see what they decide to give her. But thank you, Mama Allie, for sharing that.
Well, and if I can just take a little bit more of your time, I wanted to say about the suicide. I lost my best friend to that. It will be 10 years this February, actually, in February. And I blamed myself for the longest time because I was the last person she talked to. And so if I have that guilt as a best friend, I cannot imagine the guilt that the wife has. And I don't know the details about the story. I haven't been following the story very much, except for what you say. But speaking a little bit towards his wife and his mother and all that, they're mourning. Both sides of the family is mourning.
Yeah.
And you are unpredictable when you are mourning something like that. Again, with the blame, everybody's going to point fingers. Everybody's going to have their own guilt. Everyone's going to be mourning in their own different way. Everybody mourns a different way. And when my best friend died, her parents asked me not to give out details. I didn't have to sign an NDA, but I wasn't allowed to talk about it. And I had a lot of friends who gossiped about, what went down. And I
Mm.
couldn't say yes or no. I couldn't reach out and say that's 100% false.
Mm.
And it took a lot of years for me to accept that
Mm-hmm.
and accept that I couldn't defend her. And so you have to respect the family, and that either if that's the wife, the mother, whoever it is, both sides have their own feelings.
Mm.
And just don't blame anyone, don't blame the wife, don't blame the mother's side,
Yeah.
the that side of the
I
family,
mean,
because
here's
you
the
never
thing.
know.
Here's. I'm glad you brought up the fact that the family asked you not to speak about it. We have to remember this is a completely different situation. This is a public figure, so this is
Yeah.
why she needs to legally protect herself from anyone speaking about the situation. So I'm glad you brought that up. Um, the other side of this in regards to what the families are going through. I love the fact that you said that we need to respect that everyone is mourning here. Everyone is going
Yeah.
through something.
Yes.
But the other thing is that for those that don't like how she's handling this, don't buy the book. Don't read the book.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to support her. You don't have to give her your money. You don't have to give her your time. You don't have to. But it's not fair to ask someone to blame them and not allow them to speak out.
Yeah.
And who knows what she'll say. And I'm not taking her side or the mother's side, because again, I don't know enough of the details.
We don't know all the details because we have to remember
Yeah,
we're only getting bits and pieces of the thing. I know a lot of people on social media want to pretend like they know every single detail of the situation, but none of
of
us know the
course.
full details. All right, Mama Ellie, I
Exactly.
gotta go. But
All
thank
right.
you so much for
Have a
sharing
good
your
night.
story. I appreciate it. Have a good night. We're going to bring callers. I don't. I'm going to be fair. I'm not going to put the timer on, but it is late. It's 11 o'clock here in New York. All right, and I'm trying to get to everyone, so please keep it brief. All right, Kiki, we're gonna bring you up next. Kiki, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Um, I agree with Mama Ali, and going back from her experience, when I was living in Nigeria before I moved to Toronto, my housemate, I don't know if that's the correct term to use it, but back home would say our housemate or our housekeeper. She comes, cleans my apartment,
Mm,
works for me, and all of that. And that particular day, I would never forget. It was on a Saturday. She came as usual, did the cleaning, cleaned my bathroom, my room, the living room, just everything, the
mm,
usual stuff she does. And then she helped me make a fruit basket because I had a friend and I wanted to send it over to her.
mm,
So she helped me with that. And for some reason, she looked so pretty that day. And I asked her, I said, let's say her name was Rita, for instance. I said, Mama Rita, where are you going to today? She's like, no, she's just rushing back home to see her boys. I was like, okay, why wouldn't you stay longer with me? Why are you always in a hurry to go home? She's like, no, she left her two boys with the neighbors.
mm,
And the next day, I was like, okay, it's fine, just go. But I need you to, outside working for me, let me know. Figure out something you want to do so I can help support you.
mm,
And I'll help you finance a small business so that besides working for me, you
mm,
get something to do, right?
mm.
The next morning, I woke up, her sister called me, and the sister said, Mama Rita is gone. I said, what do you mean she's gone? Of course she's gone. She left my house yesterday after work. She was like, no, she's gone. I said, what do you mean gone? I was like, was she kidnapped? Did something happen?
No.
And she said, no. My mom came to pick me up with the driver. We quickly, because I couldn't drive. I was just like, not myself. And I quickly went to Mama Rita's house, and I heard there that she took sniper. So sniper is a rat poison that we
Oh.
use back in Nigeria,
Mm,
and she took her life.
wow.
And that really hit me so hard because I'm like, I was with her a few hours prior to her killing herself,
Oh,
taking her life that day.
yeah.
Like, what could I have done?
Yeah.
I held that guilt for so long. I was like,
Wow.
is there something I could have done? So I say all this to say that, When it comes to however the wife is dealing with it, or however his family are dealing with it, at the core of it, this is a family that is in pain.
Mm,
They're mourning. And back to what you said earlier, you're like, whatever it is, like there's, you have to show empathy. And
mhm.
sometimes you don't know how things can be until, God forbid, I just pray people don't have to experience that, because you can say, oh, I'll do this, I'll do
Yeah.
that, but when you're in the situation, it's a totally different game. And you see, this is why I can never say it for Dorit, I can never say it for Kyle,
Mm,
I can never say it for what was her name, the lady that was let go, Lisa, because how they treated Lisa Vanderpump
mm.
when her brother took his life,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was nothing short of despicable. I
Mm,
could never see it for those girls, because like, for me, once it has to do with death, everything goes out the door.
yeah. Yeah.
Everything goes out the door. I'm sorry for being long-winded, but
It's
thank you.
okay. No, I appreciate you sharing your story, Kiki. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Woo! Wow. I appreciate you guys because it's not easy, first of all, to call in to the channel, but it's also not easy to share your own personal story. But I think people will find solace. Again, some people might feel like people sharing these stories is touchy. They shouldn't share it. Let me tell you something. I didn't know, especially after doing the Kempire After Dark live experience, how about just coming on this platform and doing what I do, talking to all of you, covering the stories that we cover, how that has touched and saved lives. And I don't, that's not my words. That's what people have said to me. And that's not just me. That's just us having these conversations. So this is why I'm trying to, like what some of the callers have just said, let's give grace to everyone involved here, because everyone, Twitch's mother, Twitch's wife, children, all of them are still hurt from this. This is something that just happened 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Okay, guys, keep liking the video if you haven't already. It's easy and it's free. Sage, thank you so much for the super chat. Sage says, "Thank you. Hold on. Ooh. Thank you for the live Kempire. You always facilitate great discussions, and I appreciate your POV and all in the community. Thank you so much, Sage. I appreciate that, and thank you for being a member of the channel as well. And shout out to our replay crew. I know some of you can't stay up and or maybe you didn't get the notification and you're seeing this now. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. I will be uploading the audio to the podcast, so make sure you subscribe there as well. Let me get to some more of the. I'm gonna bring up Cottoman and then Bernice. Those will be our final callers for the night. And for those of you, love is life, mother of men. Um, you don't have to keep pointing out Kempire is sleepy. Kempire is falling asleep. I'm fine. Okay. If anything, you saying that in the chat is actually more annoying because I'm fine. I'm trying to listen. But remember, I'm listening, but looking at a camera. I'm not looking at a real person. Okay. So I'm trying to engage with all of you, but at the same time, I'm fine. When I'm tired, I will cut it off. All right. All right. Thank you, Jean. Jean, I know Gina shared that before. Jean says, Kemp, you pulled me through my mother's passing and father's illness. Your lives have gotten me through. Thank you, Jean, for sharing that. Okay, let me get to these last couple of callers because Love just says I'm falling asleep. Okay, Kataman, we're gonna bring you up next. Kataman, what did you want to
Sorry,
share?
sorry, you were cracking me up. Fine. I'm just like, what? Okay. It's a little off topic, but what do you think about the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively situation? I just want to know, like, your personal opinion.
Kataman, I'll tell you guys this. Don't tell anybody. Okay. I had planned a town hall to cover that and to talk about the Twitch stuff. So I still might do that. Just haven't decided when. I was going to try and do it, I think yesterday and then or today. Just a lot of stuff got away from me. But I am planning to talk more. I still want to finish reading through his lawsuit against the New York Times.
Okay.
So I do have thoughts, but I don't want to share them yet.
Yeah, because I was just like, okay, I have a lot of thoughts, ideas, I do.
I know.
But back to the Twitch situation, although I haven't really, I know him because of Ellen, but I don't really know him. I wasn't watching it. But I don't know. It's just when I saw a bunch of clips, I was just like, did she do something to her husband? But then I was listening to their callers, and it got me thinking. When someone leaves like your husband with 3 kids, I mean, I would be kind of angry. Then again, I deal with depression and anxiety myself, I don't know if I would take this particular route, but I don't know. It's got me changing and, trying to build a new light. Cause I watch a lot of crime shows and I'm just kind of like, this is getting a little bit uncomfortable. Cause there was a story about a woman like writing a book. Well, no, that was a basketball player. But anyways, the basketball player, I forget his name, but she wrote a book literally about killing him, and then she sold it, and then they found out about it. And I was just like, oh no, this is becoming way too much.
This is taking a turn.
I know. I was just like, wait a minute, did she do something I'm like, I don't want to point any fingers.
I mean, there's been a lot of conspiracy theories around Twitch's passing. I mean, I don't like to get into that just because, I mean, there are children. Like, if we were going to talk about being respectful of the children, let's not talk about things that might be as opposed to what we have in front of us.
Yeah, but that's it. And again, sorry I offended anybody.
No.
So, yeah, but that's it. But I hope you have a good rest.
You too, Kataman. Thank you so much for calling in. Mm-hmm. Take care. All right. Was that me? I don't think so, right? I usually have my notifications off. Look. All right, I have my notifications off. All right, let's bring up Miss Bernice. Miss Bernice is, well, not Miss Bernice, because we have Bernice and then we have Miss Bernice. This is Bernice from New York, right, Bernice?
Yes.
What's going on?
I'm from New York. I wasn't gonna come on, but I was listening to you on TikTok, and then I just got a little upset because I wanted to say you are on late and you're doing your work and everything, and we appreciate that you're on late. But why are you only at like 10,000 likes? I'm like, how hard is it to tap screen? Come on, people, tap the screen.
Oh, TikTok.
So I wanted to come on to really say that. Like, come on, because we need to support you on all platforms. Because it's late here and you out giving us this tea. We appreciate it. And that's why I really wanted to come on live. But then I did want to say something about Karen because they were talking about her on there.
Yeah.
Some people were saying we should be grateful because of her age. No, we should not be grateful because of her age. Because look at Martha Stewart. She was old and older, and she had to do prison. And here, she didn't do nothing compared. She didn't do anything that would harm people's lives like Karen did with drinking and driving.
Did you see the Martha Stewart documentary? Now I'm looking at that whole situation when she went to prison. Like, that was a setup.
No, but I need to check it out.
You should check it out because now I look at that whole Martha going to prison like, should she have not gone to prison? I'm not sure, y'all, but I'm just saying, after the documentary, I kind of look at that Martha going to prison now different. I was like, wait a minute. But anyways, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but she still didn't harm. She didn't do anything that she could harm people's lives like Cameron did.
Yeah.
So, and then because she's a particular age, they're like, she should be grateful. No, we're not, because she's old enough to know to take care. I mean, to have responsibilities, to be a responsible adult. And here you are making these decisions. And if you're so rich and if you're so caring, grand dame, why you can't have somebody drive you? You know,
she had a driver.
And especially if it's supposed to be your second one or third, or I don't even know.
We don't know.
But the point is, no, we should not give her lenience because God forbid, what if she did more damage to someone else? Then we wouldn't be, it'd be a whole different subject.
Can you imagine?
So I'm just saying, let her do, and then the rehab thing, I think she's only doing that because she wanted to avoid probably the reunion. So, but if that's what she's going to do, I hope that helps her. And I think she probably would have got a sentence of going to rehab anyway. So, but I don't know. But I just wanted to say that about her in that particular case. I just came on here to say they need to tap that screen.
We got to 1,000 likes, Miss Bernice. We got to 1,000 likes on TikTok. Hey, TikTok. All right, Bernice, thank you so much for calling in.
Okay, you have a good night.
You too.
And thank you.
Thank you. Bye. I see a lot of people agree with me after watching the Martha Stewart documentary. If you're part of the replay crew, if you watch it was a good documentary. Martha Stewart doesn't like the documentary, but I thought it was a good documentary. I did also watch the Luther Vandross documentary as well. I was going to do a separate podcast review on it. So when I have a time, I just look. There's so much. Okay. All right. DJ's backstage. Let me see. Is this Dewan? Dwan, DJ?
It is. I don't know why when I tried to open the link, it said that YouTube wouldn't allow, so I had to go into StreamYard for some reason.
Oh, okay.
But I too quickly, Karen and her incident. I don't think she's trying to avoid the reunion necessarily. I think that sometimes when you're battling something like that, until you see your behavior, you don't really think you have an issue. And I think for her maybe to, see the reaction that people had and for that to be on, Front Street it was trending on Twitter above everything. I think she probably had to sit back and say, okay, let me make some sound decisions. I have kids, I've got businesses, I am, sad because I think this is going to be the end of her on Real Housewives of Potomac.
Wow.
And I think once you start replacing, big pieces like that, the show is going it's going to have an effect on the cast. So I just think that's terrible. And then as it relates to the Twitch incident with his wife, I think that mental health is just it's a terrible, terrible thing, and I don't blame her. You're left really with children and, a marriage that's dissolved and, you're grieving. And so, I think it's appropriate for her to release things as she sees fit. The diary might have been a little bit too much, but we also have to remember he was on one of the most popular television programs in American history.
Yeah.
And so nothing is a secret. I mean, as soon as it happened, people were speculating and you knew there was something going on. And so, yeah, those are just my quick thoughts and praying for everybody in California. This is crazy. Yeah. I've just been seeing some of these videos. It's terrible. So see you all.
Well, so thanks, Dewan. Have a good night.
Same.
All right. Final thoughts. In regards to Karen and her, look, this would actually be a question for an attorney. Ms. Esquire, if you see the replay of this, do you think Karen going to rehab ahead of her sentencing is a way for the judge to be lenient on her? Could be, but at the same time, the judge is going to take into account that you decided to take this to trial versus going to rehab, admitting your guilt from the jump. So it will be interesting. Her sentencing will be interesting to follow. Do I think this was Karen's way of deflecting from the reunion? I do. I think that it had a triple effect for her. She didn't have to show up to the reunion. She didn't have to show accountability. She didn't have to talk about all of what played out on social media when it comes to her body cam footage. She also almost secured her position for another season because technically they can't just let her go because now she's in rehab. So it had a triple, quadruple effect for her in the future. And also when it comes to her court case coming up at the end of the month for her sentencing. So we shall see. We shall see. In regards to everything else that we covered tonight, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, you gave us a hell of a season. Thank you. The reunion looks not so much for everyone, but that's fine. Congratulations to Brandy on her new book, her new memoir that's coming out on October 7th later this year. I look forward to reading that. And congratulations to Megan Thee Stallion. She got her restraining order against Tory Lanez for the next 5 years. That was approved. And look, I get it. People are not going to always agree when it comes to some of these pop culture news things. But some of the callers have said, there are a lot of people hurting. When someone takes their life in this way, people will continue to hurt. They will continue to have questions. Even after Twitch's wife writes this book, if her intention was to write this book in an effort for her to heal, I'm telling you right now, I'm sure she's still going to have questions. She's still going to be affected by the situation. But I appreciate us having the conversation because, look, we can sit here in our own little bubble and all agree and never learn and grow and evolve. But I'm listening to you guys too, for those that don't necessarily agree with my take on certain things. Only way that we're going to expand and evolve as thinkers is by listening to people that we don't necessarily agree with. Just saying. Anyways, shout out to our King's Guard. Shout out to our channel members. Become a member today at TeamKempire.com/join. Shout out to our subscribers. We appreciate you guys being here as well and liking the video. Thank you for 725 likes. We appreciate you guys. And shout out to those of you watching on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, and on, where else are we at? Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook. Hey, Facebook. Not going to be there for long. Damn you, Zuckerberg. Anyways, we appreciate all of the super chats as well. We had another super chat from Rasani. Rasani says, Google her, convicted felon Karen Huger. What? What? Why? Look, why? I'm not Googling that. Anyways, I appreciate you guys being here, and thank you for the likes. Maybe we can get to 1,000 likes by our replay crew, because we had over, 1,200 of you watching, but not 1,000 likes. It's okay. All right. Shout out to all of you being here. Happy Capricorn season. Happy birthday to anyone celebrating a birthday. Happy anniversary to anyone celebrating an anniversary. Shout out to those of you that have cuffing partners. We're going to have our dating live at some point, maybe tomorrow night. So make sure your notifications are on. Also, shout out to everyone in California being affected by these fires. I've seen so much devastation and stories, and just there's a lot happening. Just be mindful of what you're saying. Don't accuse these celebrities. Oh, you have the money. People have lost memories, things that they cherish, things that they will never get back. And they don't know where they're going to go to. And it's not just celebrities that have been affected. And I saw Janae Aiko talk about, people commenting, oh, you'll be able to, rebuild and do this and do that. And she's like, you don't know what's in my bank account. You don't know what I have. So let's be mindful of that. Not everything that comes to mind needs to be said on the internet, because at the end of the day, that affects you more than it affects anyone else. So be mindful of the energy that you decide to put out today. Okay? Shout out to those of you in California, and those of you that are, worried about your families and friends in California, and make sure that you're reaching out, and make sure you take a moment, even if you don't necessarily pray, that you send good intentions for those. Shout out to the first responders that are dealing with this as well. Shout out to Anderson Cooper. Look, and shout out to all the journalists and cameramen and crew that are out there covering these stories, because we wouldn't know what we know. I know some people are like, some of these journalists are actually the most inappropriate. If we didn't have the journalists going in during these natural disasters, we wouldn't know across the country or around the world what is happening on the ground there. So be safe, all of the journalists, the first responders, as much as you can in covering these stories. We appreciate you guys. Everyone have a fantastic night. I will see you all in the next one. Don't forget the Kempire After Dark live experience is coming to Washington, D.C. and New York City very soon. A new year and new shows. The Kempire After Dark live experience is returning to Washington, D.C. on Friday, January 24th of 2025. I know it's going to be an interesting week, so why not unwind, relax, and have a good time with our community and me at Union Stage again on Friday, January 24th, 2025. Meet and greet tickets are still available. All the information will be available in the description. New York City, then you're up next for Black History Month. We're bringing the Kempire After Dark live experience back to the Green Room 42. So if you want to talk hot topics and more with me, make sure you get your tickets today. But for those that can't make it to the show, or maybe you're international and you still want to view the show, get this exclusive opportunity to get the streaming option, the live streaming option at the Green Room 42 for the Kempire After Dark live experience happening on Friday, February 21st of 2025. More information on both shows will be available in the description.
Here we go now. Here we go.